Anyway, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Tamika, and I help stay-at-home moms be able to win in life one healthy habit at a time. And today I wanted to talk to you about a lifestyle key to succeed. So I always talk about these 5 keys to succeed. It's mindset, nutrition, lifestyle, exercise, and supplements. And so today I want to talk to you about a little lifestyle hack. Okay. So me and my husband, we just went to our tax meeting with our CPA, and we're waiting on a couple more documents, but then we'll be able to file for taxes. And so I am not an expert. I am not a tax expert whatsoever. Okay. So I'm just going to share what makes sense to me with you. And always, you've got to talk to a specialist if you have questions. Okay. Don't take anything I say here for factual. Okay. And that's never something that you want to say before you start a live video, but that's what we're starting with, because I don't want any legal or liability for your tax stuff. Okay. Um, anyway, so we just got back from our tax appointment. I'm trying to understand how more of these things work. I'm really, really excited about our tax return that we're getting. But it all comes from owning a home business. And so for those of you that don't know, I actually was a high school math teacher 8 years ago. And it's funny because I was talking to a friend, and most people on my social media have no idea, because when I first started my at-home business, I had 200 friends on Facebook. I didn't even have an Instagram or a YouTube channel or a TikTok, because it didn't exist back then. But I literally had 200 friends on Facebook, and that's it. And I started my own business back in 2014. It was December 31st. So I guess I could say 2015. And like I said, I was teaching high school math, but I knew that was going to be my last year teaching. I was going to become a stay-at-home mom, because it just didn't make sense to put 2 kids in daycare. Because my whole teacher check would basically be going to pay somebody else to watch my own kids. So I was like, okay, I'll be a stay-at-home mom. I'll find a way to make some extra income. And so that's when I decided to start an online business. And so it's been 8 years that I have been home, and I am considering, now that my kids are both in school, either subbing or maybe even getting back into education. But that's for another time. But anyway, comparing taxes to what it was then to what it is now, having a home business, I think that a lot of people are missing the boat. Okay. So if you have a home business, drop a 1 in the comments. Or if you have like a way that you're making some extra income, drop a 1 in the comments. Okay. So before side business, I had a salary job, and my husband had a salary job. So come the end of the year, we knew how much money we had brought in together, and we had certain write-offs. Obviously, you can write off your kids and get certain tax deductions based on your kids. We pay tithing to our church, and we had other charitable donations that we were able to write off. And then, the little other things that you can do here or there. But ultimately, you're bringing in a certain amount. You've got very little tax deductions that you can make. And so you're having to pay a certain tax percentage based on the bracket that you land in, right? And that's all I knew. And then when starting a home business, now we have learned, just the different benefits that come from it. So what are some things that you guys already have to pay for, regardless if you have a home business or not? I mean, phone is one of them, utilities, you got to pay for gas to go places, food, you've got to pay for maybe daycare. If you're working full time and you've got kids, maybe you need to pay for daycare, education, different courses or classes that you go to. And so there are things that I was paying for when I was teaching full time that I wasn't able to write off. But now, since I own a business, I have a whole bunch of tax deductions. And what the purpose of this is to help. So I'll get into that in a minute, but like, here are the benefits, okay, to owning your own business. Now, all of a sudden you can write off more stuff. So some of the things that we are able to write off is my phone. Obviously, I'm on my phone right now. I'm live on Instagram, my computer, I'm live here on Facebook, and I'll be uploading it to YouTube. So I'm able to write off my phone. I'm able to write off the internet. I have to have the internet in order to work my business. I've got my office here that you guys see sometimes. And so that's a certain percentage of our mortgage, a percentage of our heating and cooling bills that we have to pay. Postage, okay, whenever I'm mailing out stuff to my customers or teammates, that becomes a tax write-off. Traveling, okay, every time I go run some errands and I got to stop by the post office to drop stuff off, or there's been multiple times where like we're traveling for soccer or I'm traveling on vacation. And like this summer, or was it this summer? No, it was this a few months ago when we went down to Arizona, and I actually got to meet up with one of my teammates that lives there, and we got to go to lunch together. And so being able to have part of that trip be written off as a tax write-off because I got to meet up with a coworker, quote unquote a coworker. And so traveling for work, and then also, for work next month, I'm going to be headed to North Carolina for a business trip. And so I get to write off my airfare, I get to write off my hotel, I get to write off my food, I get to, write off some of the things that I get to do there because of owning a business. And so it gets me out of my house, it gets me going places. Another thing, because of my business, I was able to get my L1 for CrossFit and my NSAM personal certified personal trainer license. And so I was able to write off those courses. And so education becomes a write-off, different websites and apps and subscriptions that I have to have in order to do my business become a write-off. Personal development, books, Audible books, different things that I want to invest in as far as going to conferences or events count as business write-offs. And so you guys, so ultimately, like, let's think about it like this. Let's say that you are bringing in, like as a teacher, I think that my starting salary, we'll just say was 50,000, okay, as a teacher. And so if all I was doing is teaching, and if you guys are a teacher, make sure to say, hey, I know that life, might get back into it, we'll see. But as a teacher, let's say that you're making $50,000 for the year. And let's say that you don't have charitable donations, and maybe you don't have kids, right? And so you're going to have to pay taxes on that 50,000 at that 50,000 tax bracket percentage, whatever that is. But if you start your own home business, now all of a sudden you can have all these tax deductions and take that 50,000 down to maybe 30,000, maybe down to 20,000, maybe even down to 10,000, right? And be able to have these tax deductions. And so that way it lowers the bracket that you're in. And you're not going to have to pay as much for taxes. And not to mention, the other perks that come with running or having your own business. One thing that we do is we hire our kids. And I mean, my kids work for me, obviously, whenever I need them to. But I mean, they put on stamps on my envelopes, and they help me clean things up and help me do some things that I need to with my business. But I'm able to write off a certain percentage and be able to pay my kids, I guess not a certain percentage, but I'm able to pay my kids a certain amount every year where I can, just max out that amount and put it in their savings account. So that way they're able to have money later on. And then you're also able to do an extra or an additional retirement plan for your business. And so being able to set aside money for that in the future is going to save you on your taxes. And so there's just so many perks that I think that people are missing out on. They see these online businesses and they're like, well, I would never do something like that, or I'm going to lose more money than what I make. But when it's all said and done, you're spending money on a lot of things that you're spending money on anyway. And so having your own business is going to be a benefit to you when you learn how these tax write-offs can work in your benefits. So obviously I've been doing this for 8 years. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun that, whether you're working full-time, part-time, or you get to be home full-time and, you're looking for an extra way to make some extra income, it's just a great opportunity. And even just being able to pay for my products. So, prior to starting my own business, I was buying supplements and different products online or at Walmart or like at our local GNC. We were buying these supplements anyway. And so now I get to buy them for myself. And because I'm willing to share what I'm using on my social medias, now my products become a tax write-off, and so it's just a win-win all the way around. And so if you're looking for a way to make some extra income, you want to be healthier, you want to continue to grow, personally in your own growth and your education, and just be able to help more people, then an at-home business is definitely a good thing to get into. And so if you're interested in mine, just go ahead and drop work down below in the comments and I will tell you more. I love the thing about businesses is that they're most of the time, these online businesses are very low startup. And speaking of a low startup, those are tax write-offs, okay? Like the government allows you to write off a certain amount on getting started in a business. And so when I actually switched over, I was with a different company before, and then in May, I wanted to try the products with the company that I'm with now. And so one of the things that you can write off, actually, it's called the creation for a new business. So cost of research, the competitor analysis, surveying markets, anything like that. So me, subscribing and trying products for this new company counted as kind of like creation for starting a new business because I had to do a little bit of research. I had to decide whether these products were something that I could stand behind and wanted to sell. And then preparation, the equipment, your training for employees, traveling to suppliers, advertising, marketing, business cards, legal fees, those kinds of things. Also, before you even launch your business, count as tax write-offs. And then eventually when you get into the organizational, like the expenses that it takes for running your business, those are going to be tax write-offs as well. So of course, like I said, I'm not a CPA, I'm not a professional here. I just know what I know based on what I have been told and what we do, but there's just so many perks to it. So if you do have an at-home business and you're not utilizing all of the different write-offs, make sure that you talk to your local CPA or whoever you can in your area to make sure that you are maximizing what you can do there, and just taking advantage of it. And if you're looking for a way to be able to earn extra income and also save, then business is the right choice for you. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. And if you, like I said, if you're interested in doing this with me, go ahead and drop the word work in the comments and I'll get you some more information. Okay. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.